Hi, I'm Shelly with Art for My Table. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're talking craft coffee and how to make that really excellent cup of brew. We're focusing on two components today, and that is the grinding of your beans and the way that you brew. So today we're going to talk French press, and this is one of the purest, best ways to enjoy coffee. First, let's talk about grinding. There's burr grinders and there's blade grinders. If you were to ask me to chop up some vegetables for a salad and I took out a mallet and started pulverizing them, that would be the equivalent of using a blade grinder with your beans. Now, if you're doing that, that's totally fine. There just are advantages to using a burr grinder. The best advantage to the burr grinder is that all of your beans will be actually ground to a consistent size, and this makes for a better cup of coffee. The second advantage is that you have flexibility and complete control over how fine or coarse you grind your beans, depending on what method of brewing you're going to use. If you're using espresso, you want your beans to be ground really fine, and if you're using a French press, you want them to be on the coarse side. So today we are going to do French press, so we want to have a coarse ground. One thing to look for when you're shopping for your burr grinder is a low speed grinder. If the speed is too high, then the beans can actually heat up, and that also produces a lot of static charge, and so both of those can affect your final cup of coffee. A French press has a carafe that's going to hold your coffee, and then it has the top with the plunger, which is all connected. And one of the advantages to this, or really the best benefit of it, is that coffee grounds or coffee beans actually have natural oils on them, and when you put your coffee beans into a coffee filter like you would on a drip coffee machine, then the filter can absorb a lot of those oils and you lose all of that, so that actually never makes it into your coffee cup. That residue of the oils that go into the filter and kind of attach to your machine can kind of build up a little bit of an unpleasant flavor and really affect the bottom line. They're really easy to clean. They'll give you the freshest, purest taste of coffee, and they don't take up a lot of space either, so it doesn't have to sit on your countertop. You can probably fit it in one of your cupboards. Also, because it's small, you could travel with it. You're also able to control the temperature of water, which will contribute to that perfect brew. Here's a pro tip with the French press. You want to make just enough coffee for however many you're serving. Afterwards, the coffee is still going to be, the grounds are still going to be sitting in the bottom of it, and so it will continue to brew. So if you want to make more than one cup and you're not going to drink it right away, just have a thermal carafe that you can pour it into. We are working with the French press, so we want a coarser grind of coffee. So I have this moved over to the coarse setting, and I'm going to set the button to how many cups I want to make, and then just hit the start. Before I pour this in, I just want to show you the difference between a blade grinder and your burr grinder. Ultimately, for French press coffee, the experts say it should look like breadcrumbs. So this side was done with the blade grinder, and you can see it's very uneven. There's even just some really large chunks, and then there is stuff that's powder fine. And then you can see with the burr that they are all consistent in size. Okay, to make your French press coffee, first thing you want to do is pour in your freshly ground beans. Typically about 1 to 2 tablespoons per cup, just depends on how strong you like your coffee. So you can just play with it and figure out what works best for you. The next thing we want to do is add our water. So the ideal temperature for French press coffee for the water when brewing it is 195 to 200 degrees. So the easiest way to really figure out that temperature without a temperature gauge is to bring your water to a boil, and I have mine in this kettle right here, and then just take it off of the kettle for about 30 to 60 seconds, and then you'll be right at that 195 to 200 mark. Then you want to just give it a little bit of a stir. I use a knife just because it's long enough. Some of my spoons aren't that large. But these French presses, they come in lots of different sizes. And then we're gonna place on the plunger, and you're gonna set your timer for 4 minutes. 4 minutes is your ultimate ideal brew time for French press. Now for me, I really enjoy flavored coffee, but I don't like to use the flavored creamers just because they're loaded with a lot of preservatives or sugar, just things that aren't the best with my coffee addiction and the way that I like to drink my coffee. So one little thing that I do is after I put my grounds in my French press, I actually add some cinnamon, ground cinnamon to it, and then pour in my water and do it. And that works great for just infusing that with some cinnamon flavor. So if you like flavored coffee but you want to stay more on the healthy side, that's one thing that you can do. After your 4 minutes, you're just going to gradually press the plunger down. And now your coffee is ready to enjoy. Perfect. Below this video are all the suggestions of the tools that we use today. So I have some ideas for burr grinders for you and for French press. And if you like an electric tea kettle, these are absolutely wonderful too. So I've linked all of those for you. And if you like this video, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and feel free to share it with your friends. If you sign up for notifications, then every time there's a new video, we will let you know. Thank you so much for joining me today. Go make some great coffee.